Hi, everyone. It's Jennifer Freed, and this is In Your Element, highlighting leaders in their field. And through asking them questions using the elements, we're going to learn to love them more. This is a good dear friend of mine, Molly Chester, who has inspired everyone with her husband by making this film, The Biggest Little Farm. And they have new films now that you can catch on Disney. But Molly, in her own right, is an extraordinary chef and farmer and author. Do you want to say anything to the people about where to find you?
So they can find me through apricotlanefarms.com or our Instagram for Apricot Lane, which is also Apricot Lane Farm. And then they can find out about my book. It's right now on all the regular sellers like Amazon and things. And it's called the Apricot Lane Farms Cookbook.
Well, I'm delighted to have you. So we'll get right into it. First fire question, what fuels your inner fire?
Really being creative or self-expression of some form.
Excellent. Earth, how do you, Molly, stay grounded? You do live in the earth and the farm, but I mean, how do you stay grounded?
Yes, anything connected with nature, but really, when I thought of that question, I think playing with my son is probably cuts me to my core the quickest.
Great. Air question, what is a core guiding principle of your life?
So I made this poem for my son when he was little, and it was, may your heart be filled with love and your soul be filled with light. May you whisper or listen to the whisper of God, and may your love for life be bright. And I thought of the line, may you listen to the whisper of God. That's probably the one that is like a guiding motto.
Beautiful. And then water, what opens your heart?
Well, internally, it's self-care for me. So whenever I'm feeling good, my heart can usually stay open physically. And then externally, when I feel someone else's heart open, that is like a natural instinct. When I can sit in a meeting and kind of feel their openness, I feel like I can access their heart and my heart stays open.
Great. What outrages you?
Abuse of the environment. Really, of it. When I see that and there's just like blatant, what feels like blatant disregard, you never know the whole story, but that's something that's hard for me not to feel that pang of anger.
And then what calms you down? What brings you to a centered, calm place?
I think just literally the sound or the feel of running water does that for me. Oftentimes just getting in a shower can kind of bring that. But if I hear trickling water, all of that is a very kind of calming influence.
I'm also very drawn to water as my calming influence. Mm. Now, what do you read or listen to for your own inspiration?
I do a lot of those kind of things, but lately I was thinking, I might even say his name wrong, but it's Muji, I think is a name. He's like I don't know what he is, healer, guru, but he has a podcast. It's Mooji. And even listening to his voice is like a soothing. So sometimes I'm not even really listening, but I'll have it on and be stretching and it just shifts me.
Good, I'll listen. Yeah. Okay, water question. What really makes you cry?
The first thing that came to mind is we often watch CBS Sunday Morning as like the family. We'll sit down and watch that together because it's kind of bright. And there's these Steve Hartman episodes where it's basically humanity would be the word, but he tells these little snippets of humanity and I am crying every time.
Lovely. Okay, what is your best personal workout? Molly Chester, how do you get that fiery body going?
I do this wonderful work with a guy, Bob Cooley, who's actually in your neck of the woods. He's in Santa Barbara, and it's called Resistance Flexibility Training. And it is life-changing. It's really good stuff.
Okay. And boy, is this a big question for you since you've written an incredible cookbook. What foods do you love and eat most often? What are your go-to meals?
So the first one that came to mind is we have a wonderful woman named Myrna who helps us with my whole life. And she makes this, she takes our pastured pork and just cooks it down with onions, and it's so crispy and amazing. And I eat that with soaked rice that I cook in chicken stock. And if I'm just like wanting a base meal, I go get Myrna's pork and rice.
Okay, way to plug her. All right. Now, what book have you read lately, or even in the last 10 years, that influenced your life? Like you really went, this is stuff I gotta pay attention to.
Ooh. So one that it was not within the last 10 years, but one that was like, I spent a long time with this book was in my 20s, Julia Cameron, I think is her name, The Artist's Way. I spent so much, that was really formative for me. I did all the things, and I still sometimes, there's something called morning pages in it. And when you wake up, you just write 3 pages without thinking. And I still do that often. So I would say that one had a significant impact.
Sounds like it. Okay, now what is a recurring, this is a water thing because it has to do with feelings and images. What is a recurring night dream or daydream that you have?
That's I don't really have reoccurring night dreams that are the same, but one just kind of daydream fantasy as I fantasize about being on Dancing with the Stars.
Everybody take notice. Let's make it go viral. And oh my God, they're looking for you. I'm certain. Now, John, would he do it too?
You would never do it. I don't think you would ever do it. But I just love anything dancing and singing, and the thought of getting to like learn how to truly dance for a time period of time. I don't even know if I've absorbed what that actually means, and that I would have to step away from my life and be.
I am absolutely certain that you're going to get the ask. If magic is as true to me as it is, this is a moment of manifestation. You will be on Dancing with the Stars. Okay.
Yes.
Last set of questions today. What has been your most adventurous journey? That's fire. When we take a journey and take an adventure, what is it?
I think into myself.
Wow. You have done a ton of personal work, and that's a lot of courage to do that inner work.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a good answer. I like that. Okay. What's been the hardest thing you've had to get through or get over in this lifetime so far? Because that's Earth. It's about resilience and patience and fortitude. Mm-hmm. What have you had to do?
I think the hardest lessons for me have all been around forgiveness.
Okay.
Yeah. And really just, I've had to come to understand that forgiveness is really that kind of accepting of the unacceptable and finding peace within that from your own kind of personal agency about what you can do about it, but also just the acceptance of that all of that range of things is in life.
Yeah, I heard a good quote the other day that we can give other people mercy for their bad behavior, but we can only give ourselves forgiveness, because it's not up to us to forgive another person. Only ourselves. And I know I've had to do a lot of forgiveness for some of the things I've gotten myself involved in, or relationships that I have mismanaged or such. But I love that that's on your list of the hardest things you've had to do.
And I would agree with you 100%. It comes back to that it's forgiveness with yourself every time.
I know, right? Okay. What are the top 2 or 3 qualities of your truest friends?
I would say an open-mindedness, a wisdom, and because it's inspiring, it's something they're coming from their own source, and like for lack of a better word, almost like they have their own personal agency. So I feel comfortable that there's kind of boundary to that you can both be your full expression. And
well, I would put that another way, because I agree with you. The closest friends of mine, I don't have to take care of them emotionally unless they call me and say, I need your help. But I'm not wondering if they're okay. I trust they're okay unless I hear otherwise.
Yes, I would agree.
Okay. Last question for Molly Chester. When you say, I love you from your heart, what does it really mean?
I think it means, from like just the quickest thing that comes to me, is that I've let you into my heart, that you're in that space that I care, and going to do I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up with you. I've chosen that's you're there.
Well, I do think one of my ideas is that true love is a verb, not a noun, and it's actions of love. And so what you're saying is when you say I love you, it means I'm bonded, I'm going to show up, I've got your back, you've got mine. That's quite beautiful. Okay, so listen, everybody, this is the show In Your Element with Dr. Jennifer Freed. But if you want to find out more about how to be in all your elements, you've got to pre-order my book, A Map to Your Soul, at jenniferfreed.com. And I want to thank Molly Chester, because I've known you for years, and you are one of my heroines. I admire you. I adore you. You're a solid person in my heart. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jennifer Freed. And I love you.
Oh.